Hi, it's Sam from the Juicelicious Life, and why do I feel like I start every video saying, oh my god, it's been so long since my last video, but I feel that's the way it's been over the last, almost the last year or so now. So anyway, sorry for the long break. I had to take some time out for me on the deepest level. After everything that happened when the miscarriage happened, I tried to deal with it, as you saw from my last video, by looking at how best to control the physical symptoms with diet and nutrition, supplements, etc. I looked at making the video for YouTube for how to help other people, and I wanted to continue to do that. But I kind of missed the whole emotional side. I was taking St. John's wort and Star of Bethlehem, which is a Bach flower remedy to help with the emotional side. And I thought I had it handled. I went back to work, I threw myself into my events work, worked some crazy hours, delivered a big event, literally 2 weeks after the miscarriage. And I carried on. But then I suddenly realized that I just kept leaking. Like, this water kept leaking out of my eyes, and at the most inappropriate moments, like in the middle of my yoga class, or I don't know, it just kept happening on a daily basis. And I would hold it together in the office, and then when I got home, or even before I got home, I think there were a couple of days when I was just walking home from work and I was just crying the whole way home. And I wasn't a particularly nice person to be around at the weekends, and I spent a couple of weekends where I literally just cried the whole weekend. And I have to say that I'm very grateful to myself that I decided to deal with it. I think it would have been very easy to have carried on, to have pushed it away, to have ignored it. More than anything, when I got down to it, it was things surrounding my mum's death, even more so than the miscarriage, that I just hadn't given myself time to deal with. I gave myself no time to grieve. And so when I realized that, I went to the doctors, because I thought I was starting to have severe depression. And she gave me time. She told me to just take some time. She said to me, it's not depression, but you haven't given yourself a chance to grieve properly. So in the end, I took all 3 weeks off work that she suggested. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, well, I'll just take a week and then I'll be fine. But I needed all 3 weeks, and I'm very grateful to have taken those 3 weeks. I started to see a therapist on day one of having that time off work. And I really, just over that time, just invested in my mental health, in spending time in nature, going to the park, or going to the beach, and just sorting out everything that was in my head and in my heart. And I cried my eyes out, and I did lots of different exercises to help with my emotions. I wrote, I journaled. I've never been a journaler, but I found it helped more than anything else. I spent an evening talking to my mum as if she were with me. I did yoga every single day, and I started meditating again. And I slowed down, and I stopped thinking about anything else other than just what I needed, what I'd been through, and what I needed to help myself feel normal again. Before I actually took the time off work, I knew I needed something. So I'd booked a trip to India to go back to an ashram that I went to when I was traveling there in 2012. And so when these 3 weeks were up, I went back to work, and I went back feeling so different. So refreshed, and like I'd really processed a lot of that deep emotion. And when I went to India, wow, I've now been back 2 weeks. It's crazy how quick the time flies. But when I went to India, I didn't have that desperate need of it like I had done when I booked the trip. But it was, I would love to recommend to everybody to go to an ashram, even just once in their lives. For me, I would love to be able to go for a week of every year of my life, because it's such an incredibly powerful and healing experience. I can't tell you, just the peace and the silence. It wasn't an ashram where you spend the whole time in silence, but every day until after lunch the rule was to be in silence. Excuse me. And during meal times in silence. 3 hours of yoga a day, meditation in the morning, meditation in the evening, spiritual chanting, different rituals. So basically what I'm saying is stop coughing. If you're feeling bad, if there's something underlying that's niggling away, do yourself the very best thing that you can do and just address it. Take time to face it head on so that you can then go forward in the rest of your life without this underlying pain and chaos that just holds you back. Take time to really look after yourself. And if you ever have the experience or the opportunity to go to an ashram, please take it. I feel so different. I feel like all the weight is lifted from my shoulders, and I know I haven't posted anything for a long time, but I think that's going to change now. But at the same time, I put no pressure on myself. I've been through a lot this last year, and I'm going to put myself number one, and I hope you do the same. Thanks.